Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague. With me, like always, is Noah Bailey. So, as I'm sure you're well aware by now, there's a pandemic happening. It's still going on. Hasn't really stopped, at least in America. In other countries, that have been generally fine, but America is still going. So, back in March, everything in America pretty much shut down. Schools, pretty much the entire economy, theme parks, etc. Everything just stopped. And now, even though it's still not over, some things are starting to open up, and some things make sense. Like some essential businesses make sense. But Disney World is deciding to open up in Florida now. What? Please help me with this. Why does this make sense?
Don't ask me. I didn't approve on this. Believe me, I did not sign anything on this. Trust me. Okay, I mean, and you can't even pull the whole we need the money because okay, the employees, yeah, I hear that, but Disney as a company is not begging for bread from anybody by any means.
Okay, look, I understand that theme parks have a ton of upkeep. They just opened Star Wars Land in California last summer, and that wasn't the most popular when it opened up anyway. So they were kind of hoping that the following summer they would do a bigger promotion to help recoup that cost, but it's not open right now, so they can't do anything with that. So I understand completely that theme parks have a lot of upkeep, but when you're Disney, I feel like you can afford to not make as much, to lose a little bit of money every now and again. Mm. Also, I know that because movies aren't really happening right now, their movies, because they own 40% of the market for movies, their movies aren't really making much money. But Disney Plus is thriving right now because there's nothing to do. So they're getting their money directly through that.
Yep. Yeah, and Disney, and they've been having a lot of stuff people have been watching on Disney Plus. I mean, not as much lately, but when things were going over The Mandalorian and Clone Wars and Disney, and the thing is, Disney is probably the biggest entertainment company in at least in the country. But so it's if you're out here we need to open things, every other company's gonna be well, if Disney's opening up, I mean, we gotta open up. And then everyone's gonna and it's I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel Disney World is doesn't feel essential.
It does not. It does.
It's
not at all. Theme parks are already disgusting. I love them, but they're already disgusting even without a pandemic. So I wouldn't want to go there during one.
No.
You know how many people have touched the lap bars on those rides?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you can't the three places that are the most super at risk for germs. It's the gym, school, and theme parks. Yeah. It's everyone touches everything, and touch their nose, their face, rub your eye, coughing on every little thing. Mm-hmm. There's and Disney World, they got kids everywhere, and kids are not gonna, this isn't gonna go well. Mm-hmm. But
and look, Disney, they do have certain precautions. They're only opening at half capacity, and they're only opening Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom for now.
Well, half capacity for Disney World is still a lot of people.
Half capacity at their two most popular kingdoms. Still a lot of people.
A lot of people. And there's no way you can enforce 6 feet apart at Disney World. No. There's no way.
The lines alone, No, like they can't enforce it at Walmart. They're not going to enforce it at Disney World.
That's what I was saying. Like, there's no way. You can kind of just cross your fingers and hope for the best. There's no way you could actually make this happen. And like, there's a lot. People will be like wearing masks, and some people won't want. Like, oh, they'll wear the mask in and take it off when they get inside, or like, and like, yeah, and like,
they might require it, but like, yeah, they'll take it off as soon as they're not seen anymore. Like it's
exactly. And like, I don't know. I don't agree with this choice, but. I know, there are, the other side, there are probably a lot of employees who have been out of work for a long time. And, and like, not everyone's just, Disney. I think Disney, the company, needs to chill out. But I understand, like, when you just work for them, yeah, I could see you're being like, yeah, I'm okay with this.
If that is your only job,
yeah,
then that makes complete sense. Like, you want to get back to work. If you haven't been able to find anything else and Disney is your only option, then I understand that completely. But it's still just crazy that they decided to shut down Disney World back in March when there was less than 1,000 cases in Florida, and now there was 15,000 new cases yesterday. 15,000 yesterday in Florida alone.
Yeah.
That's only going to skyrocket when Disney opens up.
Like, yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't think this is always based on logic. I think people are just tired of things being closed, and it's like, you know what? Oh well. And I guess we're gonna find out what happens.
I guess.
Maybe everything will be fine. Maybe it won't. But I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm not going, so there's that.
Anytime soon. I'm not going to a theme park for at least another year.
I mean, not that I was killing the theme parks in the first place, but like, it's gonna be a while.
Yeah. So like I said, I understand completely that Disney wants to make money. They want to continue the upkeep in the worlds, especially since they're remodeling Splash Mountain and a couple other rides during this downtime. And the employees, they need to get back to work. I understand that completely. But just, I don't know. This seems like a bad idea. I don't know.
I second that, but at the same time, I mean, you're Disney. No one can really tell you what to do.
Yep.
Do whatever you want.
What does sound like a good idea? Mandalorian Season 2. So, Giancarlo Esposito, he's been on a tear recently. Like, he was featured in the newest Far Cry 6 trailer. He had this big interview where he said he wants to be part of the MCU, which, like, every actor wants to be part of the MCU. Like, literally every single actor who's ever played in a movie, let alone in a Fox property or in a previous Marvel movie, they're like, oh yeah, I'd be interested to reprise my role as Phoenix. Totally. Like, I'm sure you would.
Like, I bet you would. Like, yeah, okay. But...
Or John Marston. Hey, I want to play Cyclops. Like, okay.
Like, we'll call you. Like, we'll see.
But in this interview where he talked about wanting to be in a Marvel movie, he also talked about The Mandalorian, and he talked about how cool it's going to be for Moff Gideon to use the Darksaber. And during this interview, he kind of went on a little bit of a ramble that, like, I think you could kind of tell as he, like, if you just see his face, you can kind of tell as he was talking, like, he realized he was about to go into, like, some bad territory, but it still kind of kept just to the line that he could go. He essentially said that Moff Gideon is force sensitive.
Ooh.
He essentially said, like, he has this Darksaber now, which kind of shows that, like, he has that thing that allows him to use it. Like, I don't know how much more I can say, but, like, he might have the thing. He's like, he was something like that, where he didn't say the force, but like it was like the thing or that power.
The thing, like the latent ability only born to a certain amount of people through the use of potentially midichlorians, depending on if you believe in that crap or not.
Yep. So, how baller would it be if Moff Gideon was the first instance of an in-canon live-action Inquisitor?
It would be Mothballer. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. That was a terrible pun. I'm so sorry. I was like, I don't know what I wanted to say. Like grandma. I don't even know what. It would be insane if that was the thing. Like that'd be so cool, especially if like Ahsoka somehow gets integrated into that arc and something, and like, that'd be. Darksaber in general, just like it's just a cool thing just to have going on. So I'm really excited, just in general.
Yeah, because Inquisitors have been a thing in the expanded universe for a while now, and they've been reintroduced into the canon in Force Sensitive. It's right in Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
So
and Star Wars Rebels.
And Rebels, yeah. So having like the first live action character, like having the first live action Inquisitor be Moff Gideon, I think just makes complete sense, and I really want that.
That'd be kind of sick, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I already love that actor. I love his voice. Just him just showing up with the Darksaber alone, like shows that he got it from somebody powerful. Like I think the pink or purple haired Mandalorian girl from Rebels was the last time we saw have it. Is she dead? I don't know. He took it from her somehow, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be explained. Maybe it won't. I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
And that's coming. What, October is it?
I think it's still scheduled for October. Yeah, all the filming has been done. I think they need to do a couple of reshoots and like editing still needs to be done, but like I think most of that can be done, relatively from home. So
yeah. Okay, as long as they get the shooting done, because that's like the main thing. But yeah,
because I know some of the actors said that they finished their scenes back in like January.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the majority, it should be on track to be released in October, which I am so looking forward to.
Seriously, kind of like secretly wishing they'd like move it up, because why not?
I mean, when it's ready, yeah.
Yeah,
we're still probably going to be not like wishful thinking. It might be close to over by then. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, because I remember thinking, I was like, yeah, no. I remember in like March, April, I was like, yeah, this will be over in like June or something. Like here we are, mid-July.
No, it's worse than ever. Great.
Yep. But
whatever. A little update on the Bad Batch show that was rumored a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
It's been officially announced to come out next year.
Okay, so this is happening.
Yeah, Dave Filoni is producing it. It's going to follow the Bad Batch in the events after Order 66. Like, yeah, that's cool.
Okay, see, this is cool. But like, I don't know. Like, how do you feel about the Bad Batch in general? Like, I think they're cool, but I'm not super interested in their character. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, they're kind of.
I think I'll be able to tolerate them for one season. Like 12 episodes, and then they'll have to add more characters or put them in a new environment or new situation that'll help diversify it a little more, at least from a character and or story perspective, to make it more interesting. And maybe Echo being a part of it will kind of help with that. But like I didn't really get tired of them after the 4 episodes of Season 7, but I could definitely feel like if they aren't around other clones that we know or other Jedi, then they might just by themselves potentially get a little
yeah. That's what I worry about, because like, don't believe me, I trust Filoni with everything, Star Wars wise, but at the same time, it's like, man, these characters don't feel like they can carry this by themselves very, very long. We'll have to see. I'll be interested to see what they kind of explore, especially if it's after Order 66. Are they going to, like, become stormtroopers or, like, fight stormtroopers or, like, search for, I don't know. Like,
I mean, my guess is that, like, their chips are either never inserted or Echo found a way to get rid of them or something. Or, like, since they are off doing their own thing, and they don't have like I have a feeling that like they weren't involved at all in Order 66. It just kind of happened, and there were no Jedi around, or there was no one to tell them what to do. Like even if they did have the chips, they wouldn't actually be affected by it. I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can see that. They're like off doing their own thing. Yeah, I guess that would make sense too. Because if there's no Jedi around, well, you just like, oh, well, that's awkward. Like,
Yeah, they're absolutely going to be fighting stormtroopers at least at some point.
oh yeah.
Like, how awesome would it be if they, if like in one episode, they like find Cody leading a platoon of stormtroopers? Like,
That'd be wild.
like they could meet up with Rex again. Like Ahsoka could show up because
Yeah,
going to show up.
true.
They seem to want to push her and everything, which I'm fine with. But like,
Yeah, which as long as they don't overdo it.
yeah.
But like I do, I do love me some Ahsoka, so depends.
Yeah, there's that other random clone that defected in Rebels. So like, there's a lot of stuff they could explore.
Yeah, you never know.
In other nerd news, so there's already a spin-off of the Batman in the works. The Batman with Robert Pattinson coming out next year. There's already a spin-off of that in the works.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And from the description, it sounded like it was just Gotham again.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, some people did really like Gotham. I never could get into it after like the first like 5 episodes, but like some people really did enjoy it, and I guess. I guess in this movie we're gonna have to really get invested in some of these characters aside from Batman, because they're gonna make a whole show about the side, about the GCPD, the strong GCPD, and how notoriously great at catching villains they are. So that's gonna be, especially if there's not gonna be Batman, or he's just gonna be like a thing in the background, kind of, not really a character. That's gonna be interesting, but
especially if especially it seems weird they would announce this now,
right?
For 2 reasons. One, the Batman hasn't come out yet, and B,
Yeah.
a show that focuses on Gotham City Police Department doesn't seem like the best choice right now, if you get what I'm saying.
I do get what you're saying. I see your. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I also see that point.
Like, that's not over yet. Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. See, this is kind of where I just scratch my head at DC a lot of the time. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, who signed up on? And that, like, again, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this show is gonna be great.
maybe.
But like, what? They're just throwing this together. It's like we don't even know any. The movie hasn't come out yet. We don't know anything about this apparent spinoff, and you're already making a show for some reason. It's just like, okay, but like, I feel like at least if the movie had come out and like people had said, man, we really like these side police characters, which I feel like not a lot of people would say in general.
No.
But they're already, before this even happens, they're so confident that they're just going to go ahead and make a show about them. Like, oh. It's stuff like that. And like, and like, again, not that the CW is exactly known for all their great decisions, but like, that Batwoman show, they don't even, they have season 2 without a Batwoman. They didn't recast her.
They recasted a Batwoman. I didn't put in her name. I forgot to.
They did.
That. Yeah, they did. I think she's going to be playing a different character who still is Batwoman.
Okay. I guess I'll retract that, because for a while there was just no It was just going to be Batwoman season 2, just without Batwoman for some reason.
Yeah.
And everyone was just like, huh?
I think she's playing a completely unique character who's never played Batwoman before in the comic. I think she's just a brand new person.
Okay. Even though you could just easily just pick a new person, or just make it something else, or honestly just make a new show. But
Yeah.
I mean, all 12 fans weren't exactly
Mm,
shocked. I don't know. Maybe there's more than that. But it didn't seem like there was that many. But again, they're doing their own thing. I'll let them do that thing. But yeah, I don't know. Some of these DC decisions lately have been kind of okay. I guess we'll see. But again, I guess we'll see. I heard this Zatanna movie has been greenlit or something like that.
Zatanna?
Also,
Sure.
yeah. I
Why
don't
not?
know. I don't know if that's like I don't know about how legit that is. I kind of just found that I was surfing the web and I just found that.
I
I
mean,
said
there's
surf.
been probably 100 different random DC movies just announced over the past 5 years just
This is
to
true.
announce stuff.
I would say we still we have movies from like 5 years ago who have been
I'm
announced
still
that
waiting
we're
for that
still
Deathstroke movie. I'm still waiting for that
yeah.
Nightwing movie. I'm
Oh
still,
my goodness,
still waiting for one of the 3 Joker movies. Like,
true. Oh yeah. I don't know.
still waiting for Cyborg and Flash. And
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. They're gonna throw some movies together. We'll see.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, interesting that they're making a series about side characters in a movie that hasn't come out yet. But
Maybe.
maybe this is genius, and I just don't see it yet, or not.
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out. Maybe. Or
Speaking
not.
with Warner Brothers, um, so Warner Brothers Interactive apparently is rumored to be sold. Like
Hmm.
AT&T doesn't want this brand attached to them anymore, so they want to sell it.
Huh. Have they sold it to someone already?
No, it's not even like confirmed that they want to sell it. It's just a heavy rumor that like every major game company, ranging between EA, 2K, Microsoft, even like everyone apparently wants to buy WB Interactive from WB.
So to like get the rights to their characters and stuff and make their own games, I
I
guess, or like
guess, but like it's called Warner Brothers Interactive. Yet, how do you how do you keep the name Warner Brothers Interactive if it's not no longer owned by Warner Brothers?
I mean,
I
Disney still
can't.
calls it Lucasfilms, even though
I guess.
not really. I guess, I mean, I feel like you can still kind of like just keep the title, but change the own. There's a term for that, I swear, in business. I just learned about it, but I don't know.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of
Yeah.
it either. Yeah, I guess. But like on paper, getting Warner Brothers Interactive, if they do also get the rights to all the different, you know, IPs and whatnot, is actually a pretty good get because
Mhm.
that includes every DC property in Nether Realms with Mortal Kombat,
Ooh.
and I think there's like a couple others that are also in there. So like, I think the publishing rights for The Witcher, maybe.
Back to come ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I might be wrong about that one, but there's like one other major franchise that WB Interactive has that like would be a pretty big deal if like Xbox got exclusive Batman or Mortal Kombat games. That
That
could be
would be
huge.
that would be huge, especially if you could like, because that's like by extension, wouldn't that be like Rocksteady and stuff like that? Does
Yeah.
that work like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody wants to come make another Batman game. I ain't gonna be
Said he's
mad.
not doing anything with it.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see, but yeah, I guess anything's possible.
I just don't want it to be bought by EA. Please, please no.
Oh God, not EA. Anyone else, sure, but EA,
No.
no. EA puts about as much effort into their games as. Ugh,
Yeah.
don't even want to talk about it. But
So that could happen, could not. Maybe it'll just kind of be sold to someone and then just kind of go like literally nothing will change. They'll just keep making Batman games like normal. Not making
that would be cool.
Batman games.
Now, what if does Disney have the ability to purchase that product? theoretically.
I don't really think they're interested in making games anymore. Like, they completely shut down their Disney Infinity and their entire, game production. Actually, Warner Brothers did actually produce the Cars 3 game. I remember that. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Back in 2017, Warner Brothers produced the Cars 3 game.
How does that work?
I don't know. Everyone was confused. Like, what? I mean,
It's like Burger King, like, coming out with their version, like a McRib. It's like, wait a minute.
Like, you can do that?
It's like, wait a minute. How does that work?
Sure.
Okay, but yeah, like, anything's possible, I guess.
So, I don't know. We'll see if that ends up happening. Something in games that we do know will be happening is it looks like games are going to cost $70 for next-gen consoles. NBA 2K21 is going to be $70 freaking dollars.
$70. See, what is up with this, man? Like, games keep getting more expensive, and yet when we buy the game, we're getting less game.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that? Because all these DLCs and extra microtransactions and all this stuff, and the games are costing more money than the. Remember, like, I made this joke with my brother. I was like, you remember when you bought a game back in the day and, like, you just had the whole game?
Yeah.
Like, those were the good old days, It was like $40 for the newest game, maybe $50.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it was, like, really new, but it's like, now it's like $7. Like,
It would be one thing if this announcement came with, like, Halo Infinite or, like, some major, huge, extensive world, like some groundbreaking game that, like, that had, like, 6 years of development time, like, it required that people spend $70 in order for them to, like, even come close to recouping their costs.
Mm-hmm.
But this is NBA, like a game that easily could just be a free-to-play game that they add new rosters every year. Like, this does not require $10 extra.
Yeah, it is literally the same. I mean, especially like Madden, like the same game every year, like to the point where people are stop buying it, me included. But it's weird because it's like the prices keep going up and like all the stuff, but there's a lot of these people who just keep buying it, and I'm just like, why are you doing this? Like,
I get it. I understand completely that developing on next-gen hardware is going to require games looking better, looking just bigger games in general, having better textures, better, like, sweat, like just details in general, just looking and being better.
Nice.
But there's no reason for an NBA game to be leading the charge.
No.
And because NBA, and people are gonna buy it. People are gonna buy NBA.
Oh, they are. Unfortunately,
it's still gonna be
especially since there's been no sports lately, anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna be itching to do anything basketball. Man, and they're still gonna be $60 on PS4 and Xbox One, and then like a lot of other major games that are coming to PS4 and Xbox One, but then also going to be on Series X and PS5. They're just going to either be like through Xbox's smart delivery program or just plop the disc in the PS5 and you can just play it backwards compatible and it just up-reses it. But here, no, they're not doing that. You literally have to. I think they announced like you have to get 2K21 on those systems. You can't just backwards compatible it. Like, that's so dumb.
Wait. Why not?
Because you can't get all the new features and all the new.
I'm about to flip my computer. Like, isn't the whole point of the backwards compatible so I can do that?
Like, Cyberpunk 2077. This game has been in development for almost 10 years. And they're just allowing you to have a free upgrade on the Xbox Series X. But NBA 2K can't bother. They would hurt their margins too much to make you spend the same amount on next gen systems.
I don't understand it at all.
I don't either.
I don't know. I mean, like we laugh and we joke, but at the same, but like you said, like people are gonna buy it. Like
Yeah.
people are gonna buy it. They're just going to. It's sad, but it's true. Like,
Like, I I wouldn't be as mad about this if I knew for certain that this $10 increase would mean that there would be less intrusion of microtransactions and less insane DLC.
oh no, it's included.
I know, because NBA has already been just dunked on for having insane, stupid microtransaction policies. Like, there's literally a feature in the most recent one, if I remember this correctly, they have commercials in between matches that you can pay to turn off.
That sounds about right. Yeah, like they don't care. They're just trying to milk as much money out of each person as they can. It's to the point where like these console games are becoming phone games. It's like they set it up where you have to pay to even like.
But at least phone games are usually free. Like Angry Birds, I think it's free. You have to like pay for unlock stuff.
Right, but like these games, this is after you pay now $70, which is ridiculous. That's almost oh my god, it's almost double what it used to be, man. Like what is up with that? And now it's like $70. And, that's for like, just the big, and you probably have to have PlayStation Plus or whatever. And you probably have to and it's like, dude, I'm paying all this money. Like, it's like, very sure they're going to start charging you money for like, individual button pressing and stuff like that. Like, it's like, oh, you want the X button? That's $5. Like, sorry. Like,
it's just disgusting.
I don't know. Video game. I love games that are getting better, but they're getting so much worse.
We are due for a price hike. They've been $60 since 2005, since the 360 came out. So games have been $60 standard since then. So like it makes sense since games are getting bigger and bigger, looking better and better. It makes complete sense that they would want to increase the price. But up until now, they've been doing that. They've been kind of, they've been evening that budget by having microtransactions and DLC by taking out the ending and making pay for it. EA. But since people have gotten so comfortable with that, they're just gonna be we can just pay $70 on top of all this other crap. Like,
just like why? Like. Just making it more expensive, and I know like they're the business and we can't really do anything about it, but at the same time it's like this is terrible.
It is. I hope Nintendo, please, like, I hope you don't increase your prices until 2 gens from now, because I love the Switch to death, but it's not as strong as those systems. Things just aren't going to look as good, so please don't do that.
Honestly, Nintendo, they listen to their fans way more than...
Yeah, they still could be better at it, but they're at least better than other companies.
Yeah, Sony does not care. Like, they're just like, nah. Like, can you just do this how it used to be? Nah, you don't want that. I just told you what I want. Nah, you don't want that.
Backwards compatibility? Okay, we'll give you PS4 Pro backwards compatibility. Yay, like, we want more. Can we go back further? No? Okay, fine.
No, it's like, we easily could, but we won't, because we can't. Like, it would probably take like 2 minutes, but they're just like, nah.
Too much work.
Because they can't. Because the thing is, they won't profit off it, because they're not selling games. Because they're not selling games more than 1 gen back at this point. So they're not going to make any profit if they make it PS3 compatible, because they're not selling PS3 games anymore. And that's what it goes back to.
Yeah.
But I mean, as I've tried to convince my dad, like, see, businesses don't care about people anymore.
No.
Like, it's
They
about the money. They don't
they never
care.
have.
Like,
They're trying to fake it nowadays with all those like "we're in this together" commercials from like Taco Bell and
yeah.
other. Like you don't care. You just want your brain to be kept in our minds. That way, when the pandemic is over, when we have money to spend, we'll spend it on your crap. Like
Yep.
no.
No, don't try to ease your way back in. I swear. I mean, they tried. They're trying so hard. They're just like, we can do this. And I'm like, we, what? Like we? Okay. Like no, I already no. We're done. We're done. I
Yeah.
can't. But
Yeah. So
swear.
like I understand that. Like I understand all the logistics of why this should happen, but it's still very dumb and bad that it's 2K that's leading the charge on this.
A fall game because that game's gonna be $10 this time next year.
Exactly. Like every 2K game drops like $30 in quality within the like 2 weekends after it comes out. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the last 2K that came out, like 2K20, is like free on PlayStation
yeah.
now or Plus or something like that.
Either
So I'm
20
just
or
kind of
19.
like,
Yeah, it's just free.
yeah, and I'm like, and you're gonna charge me $70 for the one a year before it, where I can just go and download the rosters for free to match this game.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
You won't
to
get
me.
that next gen sweat.
Oh yeah, I really got to see that next gen recycled commentary. You know, like I really need that. It's just not the same without it. You know.
And like, who cares if the character models look fantastic? Like, it's a third person, like camera view. Like, you're not even seeing,
Yeah,
not even seeing the people's faces half the time. Like,
it's I don't know. I don't get. I like me some sports games, but like lately they've been trash.
yeah.
Like Madden the most by like the widest margin, but
Mm,
like 2K is also kind of starting to get there. Also, they're getting too comfortable.
yeah, FIFA's been there for a solid
Yeah,
generation. Like,
yeah, but well, yeah, but that's no surprise. EA, man, like 2K is doing okay. EA, no,
no.
no, EA can't do it.
Okay. Let's talk about a lighter topic.
Okay, sorry. I'm waiting
This
to
past
another
project,
round.
like there's been some ups and downs, but like let's
Let's move
move
on.
on. So I thought it would be
And
kind
another thing.
of
Sorry.
I thought it would be kind of fun if we did essentially made an optimal MCU watch order. There are like 23, 24 Marvel movies out now.
Like that.
Like, if people who've never seen any Marvel movie, maybe they don't know where to start. Maybe they think you just need to watch all of them. Maybe they think, like, are there only certain ones they should watch? Or, like, if, some of them are out of order, like, chronologically, like, does it matter what order? Like, I think together, I think we can make a pretty solid, optimal MCU watch order.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to hear what you came up with first.
Well, I mean, believe it or not. Well, I guess, like, I know some people are like, oh, well, chronologically isn't Captain Marvel, but like, I'm not doing that. Like, for me, you gotta start with Iron Man. It's just,
Okay.
that's where we start. Like, it's where it all started. I think Tony Stark is the center of this universe by a wide margin. So you
To a
got to
fault
start.
at points, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like you got to start there, and you could argue the whole entire MCU is about his character development. So it's like you got to start with Iron Man 1, just because not only did it come first, but it's it sets everything up. It's the I guess what's the word? Pioneer. I almost said philosopher. The pioneers, the seer. I'm a lot of things philosophy. But yeah, it's the pioneer of this whole thing gets it started. And it's pretty good. Like,
Solid.
yeah,
It's a little boring to me, but like it's still a decent movie. Like,
right.
Robert Downey
gets you-
Jr. is just owning that character. Like, all
Yeah,
the side characters are
exactly.
great. Jeff Bridges is always fantastic as anything he ever does. So
Yeah, and that's what I like just how Robert Downey Jr. just kind of becomes this character, kind of sets a theme of other people just becoming other characters,
yep.
more or less, and I think that really helps. So yeah, that's where I start.
Oh, give your whole list.
Oh, okay, okay, sorry. I didn't know if it was like go on. Okay, okay. So yeah, I start with Iron Man. I skip Hulk because
You hate that
like
movie.
yeah,
It
like
doesn't matter.
not only that, but it's like it's not important. Like if you look at the Avengers movie, you don't need it.
Secretary Ross is like the only through line that movie has, but like
But like
him
you
just
don't,
showing up, like you don't need to know that he came from Hulk.
that's what I'm saying. He could just be another agent guy. Like you don't
Yeah,
really need to know
like Mark
that. Like
Ruffalo isn't, or Hulk, whatever, isn't even in
right,
that movie, so there's not even that connection. He's just
exactly. Like,
he's here
it's
now.
there's no point. So I just skip Hulk. Yeah, and the thing about Hulk is like he's a very simple character. It's just okay, gamma radiation. When I get mad, I get huge. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's very simple. Everyone kind of already knows it in
Yeah.
the Avengers movie, so I feel like a whole movie about it is unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I have Thor, and I have First Avenger because you need to know obviously the other Avengers for the Avengers movie. And although Iron Man 2, I thought about this,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, is it important to have Iron Man 2? Because when I think about things that line up from Iron Man 2 for the first Avenger movie, there's the line where Tony knows Romanoff already. But other than that, there isn't a ton.
Yeah, it introduces Nick Fury, introduces Black Widow, it introduces this, the modern version of a
Yeah.
Rhodey,
Yeah,
introduces
Rhodey.
Spider Man.
Okay, no,
Technically.
that doesn't count. I don't care. Like I know that's like been confirmed by Marvel, but to me that doesn't. I don't buy
That's
that.
stupid.
There's no way. There's no way. They're doing too much with
Mm-hmm.
that. But yeah, I decided to keep it on there though. I
Okay.
just because it has and like you said, it does have like Black Widow's first look and stuff like that, so that's important.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously you have to go with the Avengers movie after that.
Yep.
Now an Avengers movie, yeah, obviously you have Loki from Thor and all that stuff and all that, but I didn't put in Iron Man 3
Yeah.
because one, like I've said this before on podcast, Iron Man 3 ending has no meaning whatsoever.
It's actually a very, very solid movie,
Yeah.
but if you go straight from Avengers to if you skip it completely and go straight from Avengers into Winter Soldier into Age of Ultron, his character doesn't change. Like it doesn't
Nothing
matter.
has happened.
He's
No,
still
and like
the suit. He still has his Iron Legion there. Like
yeah.
still is the same character. All the character development he had in that movie didn't happen. Like no.
Yeah, it's weird. You literally go from destroying all my suits to literally having a Hulk Buster in the next movie, which is like, how did this? When did this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, like something doesn't add up here. So yeah, for me, I just don't. It doesn't. It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It's not. And not a ton happens. I mean, his house gets blown up, but I mean that's not really
It's not relevant.
super
Never
relevant.
brought up again.
Yeah, so there's that, and then Thor, which I think no. So
You don't need
no.
it.
Enough said.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I got Winter Soldier. Obviously, you got to watch that, and then I put Age of Ultron after Winter Soldier, even though I think technically Guardians comes before that, chronologically in terms of when they were made.
That makes a lot more sense. Mm.
Yeah, because for me, not that the Guardians aren't important. Don't worry, they are. But I feel like that distracts you
Yeah.
from things.
Since they're
And
literally not connected to anything else happening, they can be put pretty much anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Right, and that's kind of my thing. They're in space with no course-ending timeline, so you could put them as long as you put them anywhere as long as it's before Infinity War,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty much good. So it's kind of like we're gonna go straight to Avengers 2 with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of and that's what and that's what my list. That's what we do because I kind of keep the Guardians. I keep the Guardian movies together,
Mm-hmm.
but they're further back. They're like around. They're like it goes Winter Soldier, then it goes Ultron, and then I go with Ant-Man,
Mm-hmm.
and then Civil War, and then I do Guardians.
Okay.
So it's okay. Sorry, I said a lot right there. So
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
okay, but yeah, So yeah, Ultron, and then I have Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, because that one. Then obviously you need Ant-Man for Civil War, so you have to make that connection.
Mm-hmm.
and then we take a break with everything going on Civil War with Doctor Strange with a little less going on, and then I have Guardians 1 and 2 in order before going to Spider-Man,
Okay. Wait,
which
can you
I
repeat that again?
thought, which
Can you repeat
huh?
that? Can you repeat that again?
Okay, I have it's Civil War,
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange, and then Guardians 1 and 2,
Okay. And
and
then
then
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Got it.
Which I was at first I had Spider-Man going right after Civil War originally because especially how Spider-Man begins with the whole like video diary thing Peter does and
Mm-hmm.
like because it's only been a couple of months
Yeah.
after Civil War,
Yep.
like it's like 3 months or something like that
That sounds right.
when the movie starts, something like that. So I was kind of conflicted about that, but also, I mean, that movie has a bunch of timeline errors and all that crap, so I'm not even going to go into that. But I kind of feel like it's okay because you can assume things are going on at the same time. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So there's that going on, and then after Spider-Man, I put I think I put like Spider-Man, Black Panther, and then Thor
Mm-hmm.
because Spider-Man and Black Panther are happening supposedly, I guess, ish at the same time
Yeah, because Black
because
Panther takes place almost like I think a week after Civil War.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Civil War ends, which again makes me rethink my decision because I'm thinking maybe I put the Guardians last because I feel like going to the Guardians takes you, I mean, pardon the pun, but out of this universe kind of into this own thing. And now I'm like, now that I'm reading out loud, maybe I should put them right at the. I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think I might do that. I think
Like deal with all the stuff on Earth and then go to space and then Thor Ragnarok and then go from there.
that's what I'm thinking. Cause like, I'm thinking like, yeah, go like Civil War, Doctor Strange, and then Spider-Man, Black Panther, and then Thor, because Thor is the closest thing that kind of connects with Earth, but also connects with space.
Mm.
And then use that as kind of like a bridge to just space stuff.
Yeah.
With Guardians 1 and 2 because, like you said, that doesn't really matter the order.
Okay.
So, and yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna actually end up doing. So I'm gonna go, or maybe I'll go. I think I might do Doctor Strange before Civil War, just to kind of keep.
Canonically, Doctor Strange takes place after Civil War, though.
Oh, it does.
I
Okay,
I
I didn't
think
know. I didn't know that. I didn't
it
know if there
doesn't.
was. Like
It doesn't make it very clear, but there was one line of dialogue that I think did it. Hmm. I think there was one line of dialogue that insinuated that it does take place after, but I don't remember specifically what it was or if it actually matters. It probably doesn't matter. You can probably put it wherever. It doesn't. Although having
okay,
Doctor Strange, watching Doctor Strange before Civil War would make a new viewer question why he's not part of the fight.
that is true. That is true. But then again, I feel like Civil War is more about. I mean, well, obviously they add new characters, but it is kind of also about characters who, the Civil War part is like
Yeah.
characters who have this history, kind of. But I do see your point. And you can't really make an excuse that because it doesn't show him really going anywhere except where he already
Mm-hmm.
is. So okay, so maybe it is better to keep it. I don't know. I just kind of like the idea of having the movies, that mention Civil War immediately just happen right after it. 'Cause especially like because I know Black Panther's like literally a week after. You're just like, I mean, what else would I be doing right
Mm-hmm.
now? But I guess I can keep Doctor Strange in between there just to kind of keep any potential, or maybe I can move it after. Would that make sense?
After Guardians?
No, 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 no. Like after Civil War, or not Civil War, after Spider-Man and Black Panther
Yeah,
potentially.
that
So
could
like,
work.
yeah. So it would be okay. So it
That
would
would
be
actually
like
also if on your list you did go uh, Civil War and then Spider-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has the after credits scene that leads into Thor Ragnarok, and then you go from there.
Okay, so this actually works out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So okay, yeah. So yeah, you can go Civil War, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and then Doctor Strange going right into Thor Ragnarok, and then space, and now we can go right into Guardians 1 and 2, and that leads us right into Infinity War, and obviously Endgame. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, I like this
Yeah.
actually. Oh yeah, and Spider-Man Far From Home.
No
But
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
what? I mean,
You haven't seen it yet, right?
I know there's part of it that's important because obviously the Wasp is important, and also the van. Isn't the van kind of more utilized in the second one?
I mean, you need to know how Scott ended up in that dimension, but you don't really.
That's what I'm saying. Because like, isn't that like done at the last second anyway?
After
Isn't
credits
like an
scene.
after
Yeah.
credit? Yeah, exactly.
Just
So like,
watch
it's
the
not
after credits
really.
scene and yeah.
That's all like, yeah. 'Cause I think I know I saw that, so I'm kind of like, I feel like that's not that important. And that I don't really. I don't know. That doesn't seem super. Oh, I forgot Captain Marvel. Crap.
That's that could go like either before or right after Guardians.
Yeah,
It's space stuff. Yeah.
yeah, I get. Yeah,
Just don't
maybe.
watch the after credit scene, I guess, because that
Yeah,
leads into
well, yeah, that
Endgame.
would mess things. That would mess things up. I guess. I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe its regular order for that would be okay with like Infinity War and then Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel isn't really.
I think if
Or do you think maybe Captain Marvel before Infinity War?
I think before Infinity War, at some point
Yeah.
before after Civil War, before Infinity War,
Yes,
because I think there is if you have the option, since everything's out on Disney Plus now, aside from I think
right.
the Wasp might still not be there, but and the Spider-Mans obviously, but like pretty much every single MCU movie is out there on Disney Plus. If you have the option to watch Infinity War straight into Endgame, do it. It is fantastic. Like literally, like Thanos is sitting in a shack. Cut to black. Like if you can somehow like cut to black and then shift directly into the opening of Endgame, like open on Hawkeye doing his thing, like man.
So that would be sick. I mean, that's a lot of movie time, but still, like,
I've done it. It's only 6 hours. No big deal.
it's fine. I only had to pee once. Yeah, we got fine. It was fine. Like,
I mean, ideally there should be like a 5.5 hour supercut where they put the Hawkeye stuff kind of in with everyone else getting dusted. So that way, when
yeah.
Thanos like sits, they cut to black, and then it'll just like, and then Endgame will start with the Marvel credits,
Mhm.
and then just go from there.
Yo, yeah. It's like, have you seen that YouTube video where it's like every like dusting happening simultaneously, and it's like Ant-Man and like Hawkeye's family, and obviously like Nick Fury and all. That's like, oh my
And
god.
then it also adds in like every other like other random like other universe character that also gets like Voldemort and like other random people.
Oh, I love the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that does sound really just to like sit back and just like watch, yeah, and just watch and just know what's going on because like again, like a lot of these movies are, I don't want to say unnecessary, but just kind of like not integral to the entire story,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Exactly.
And it's important to like get the important things out, but also understand what you really need and what you don't,
Mm-hmm.
kind of. But, yeah, I had a friend who she like binge watched the Marvel movies and like I think she said like I think it was like a week. She watched like all of them, which I
Wow.
was like, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, there's no way. And then she was like, yeah, because this, that, and that, and that. And I was like, she knew where all the Infinity Stones were. So I'm like, yeah, she did. Okay.
Okay.
I was like,
Sure.
well, not all of them, but like all the ones she should have known. I was like,
Okay.
yeah, no, she did her homework. Like, she knew all the movies. And it was weird because like we had watched a Marvel movie like 2 weeks ago, and she didn't like get any of the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched like Infinity War a few like after, and then she like got all the jokes, and I was like, you didn't get that like 2 weeks ago. How do you get that now? She's like, all I do is watch the movies. I was like,
Fair
you
enough.
are impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so weird because it was like so quickly. I'm like, that's years of movie you just shoved into your face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's
Like 11 years of movie just in one week. That's
yes, like so quickly. And I'm
mm.
just like, whoa. But
Okay.
respect, not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
I mean, one of these days I'll probably at least try that. I don't know. Just see if I can, if I have the time. um,
I don't know. I
so
don't know if I could do it because I love movies. But I need like a break. I gotta
yeah,
like pace
in
myself.
me and my roommate did a recent watch through of like the core Marvel movies, which kind of sparked my idea to like do this. We didn't do them in the exact order that I ended up like saying we should watch them in, but we essentially watched 2 or 3 over like a span of a month, like 2 or 3 every week over a span of a month. So we watched like maybe think 12 overall.
Okay.
So yeah, like we need like a couple of day buffer between watching like 3 in a row, couple days, 3 in a row, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because I'm not like a long, like I'm one of those people who like I can watch a movie, but like I can't watch like I can't do a double header. I'm usually like I need to like have some space between, so like I
Triple
can be
headers
like,
before the Star Wars trilogy.
yeah. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. For some reason, because we were trying to, because me and my friends were trying to do that with Lord of the Rings. They're like, let's just go through it. Which I already was.
One of those alone is already 2 movies. Like
that's what I said. I was like, aren't they movies like 3 hours a piece? He's like, yeah, man, it'll be fine. I was like, what?
Like sitting here for 9 hours? No.
Literally, like halfway through the first movie, I'm like, this is not gonna happen, guys. So we only finished the first one, and then I was like, we gotta pace ourselves. And we never watched the other ones, unfortunately.
Yep, I still haven't seen the third one because we had to split the second one over 2 days. It was too much.
Yeah, it was so much movie, and there's so much going on.
4 hours for one movie? No.
Like, good gracious, how much is happening right now? And it was just like, no, it's all happening. We're doing this, and I'm just like, okay, sure. But goodness gracious, man, that was intense. But, yeah, it was. Yeah, I can't. Long story short, I can't do double headers.
That's fair. I could do a double header like sparingly. I'm not going to do it every weekend, but like once a month maybe I can.
Yeah, just
handle it.
When you feel it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
If it was a double header of movies I've never seen before, probably not. But if it like, I was more than willing to watch all 3 Star Wars movies at the same time, watch Infinity War and Endgame back to back. Like, if I know what's happening, I know I love it. I'm so willing to just do that.
Fair enough.
So here's my list of. I made 2 different lists. I made one for if you've already watched them all before and just doing a general rewatch, and another one for a newcomer to kind of just like you did, was just kind of general idea of the entire MCU. So I might change this kind of as I'm talking through it, but essentially, because these are comic book movies, and in comic books, if you're reading them, you just kind of assume that things have happened. If you're just reading Avengers comics and like they reference stuff, or like a character's outfit has changed or like powers have changed, you just kind of accept, oh, it's comics. Things happen in this universe that we don't necessarily know. We don't need to know that. We just know that this happened. Moving on. So I kind of essentially framed the core 8 Marvel movies with that in mind. I think there's not only 8, but I think that there are 8 movies in order for you to generally understand the entire timeline. Starting with the Avengers.
Okay.
If you watch the Avengers, does a fantastic job at introducing every single character in a very quick yet concise way. You understand Hulk's whole ordeal. You understand Romanoff's whole ordeal. You like Hawkeye, like he like you just kind of accept he's just kind of a background character, but like he can do more. It introduces Thor and Loki very well in a very what's the word I'm looking for?
Brother
concise, dynamic. Whatever. In a way that just kind of flows well. Ironman, obviously, you understand. Captain America, like he's getting literal flashbacks of the last movie as he's doing the punching bag. So like, not that you don't need to watch their movies, but if you watch this movie, you get it. Like you don't need to watch those in order to understand this one, because when Nick Fury is like, or they're why do we need to make these weapons? Because of him. Last year, he crash landed here and caused a big problem. Like you just kind of assumed, in Thor's movie that happened. Like, and that kind of changed things. Like you don't necessarily need to see that. You just you can already feel the effects of that. And you don't need to see his movie in order to understand why Loki is important, because since you know what comic books are, you know who Thor is. And if Thor thinks Loki is important, then you already know Loki is important. And I think Avengers does a fantastic job at just kind of... Because I hadn't seen any Marvel movies before I saw the first Avengers in theaters. And I wasn't lost. Like, I knew everything.
Yeah, it was it's like a very simple premise, but it does a good job of using that to spend the time with the characters. And I think that's really good.
And I think if you did watch Iron Man 2, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, First Avenger, and then watch the Avengers, I think people could get annoyed at every single one of these characters being a little one note, a little caricature-esque, because like they all have their one personality trait, and that is like the thing that they're like. You know, Captain America is spunky and a man at a time. Iron Man is a pompous rich billionaire. Thor is all high and mighty. That is their thing, and they stick with that the entire movie. But if it's your first movie, this is a perfect introduction to these characters. So, moving on, Captain America: Winter Soldier. Like I not only is it the best one, like it's top 3 easy best Marvel movie. Also, like I still haven't seen all of the first Avenger. I've seen like a lot of it in chunks, but I haven't seen the entirety of Captain America: First Avenger all the way through. Yet I still understand completely everything that happened leading into Winter Soldier. I understand completely who Bucky is. They even have some flashbacks to what happened. I understand who Zolo is because you just kind of, through his monologue, you just kind of get it. Plus, again, some flashbacks kind of give you a general idea of who this is. You understand why Peggy Carter's important. Like, the MCU just does a great job at cluing people into things that, like, if you miss one movie, you're fine. Like, not until Infinity War did that start getting a little muddy.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point of that movie.
Right.
So yeah, Winter Soldier, very important, especially if you want to understand what the heck's going on in Age of Ultron. Because the movie just starts with them trying to find Loki's scepter, which they lost at some point, and then like they're fighting SHIELD agents for some, like they're just like Nazis are back. Okay, like
here we go.
Yeah. The rest of that movie isn't super important aside from Hulk flying away, but I still think I think that movie gets a little too much crap. I think people just kind of hate on that movie for seemingly no reason. I think it's pretty good. I don't know. There is a little bit of stuff with Thor that doesn't really make sense or is necessary, but whatever. Then Civil War. Just like with the Avengers, you don't need to see Ant-Man's movie to get that he's Ant-Man. Especially since they already have 2 other random characters that were introduced in this movie, and Black Panther and Spider-Man. It's like, oh, Ant-Man's also here.
Ant-Man's a thing. Yeah, that's true. I hadn't seen Ant-Man when I saw Civil War the first time, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
like, he had a run-in with Falcon at one point. Like, that happened, but you don't need to know what happened. Just know that they've met. I think you're good there. I'm really questioning. Well, yeah. Black Panther next. Mainly because it does play such a big role. Like the world of Wakanda plays such a big role into Infinity War.
And also, I think it's sorry, I don't mean to cut you off there, but also I think it's really interesting to see like the immediate impacts of like, you know, T'Chaka dying in Civil War and like how that immediately leads into, okay, where does this country go from here?
Yeah.
And I think that's great how it goes right into, okay, well, we obviously need a new king, so movie start. And I think that's why I really like that, because it kind of just like, it's an immediate follow-up kind of. But continue, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. And then Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
I think Doctor Strange's introduction in this movie is so short yet so concise that like you don't need to see his movie to understand he's a wizard.
Yeah,
He's a
true.
wizard. Yeah. Um, the the main thing that I think would be lost if you jump straight from if you do my order and jump straight from Thor Ragnarok into Infinity War is you'd miss two, I think, very, very important things that happen in order for Thanos to make sense. Because I follow the theory that the way, especially the way Phase 3 happened, it happened in such a way that essentially every single movie made it a point, except for Spider-Man, made it a point to have major players that would get in Thanos' way were dealt with. Dormammu was stopped from coming into this realm in Doctor Strange. Hela was destroyed.
Mhm.
The big lava monster voiced by Mr. Krabs was destroyed. All of Asgard, obviously. Ego
Mhm.
was gotten rid of.
Yeah, that could have got crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also in Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, she could
Mhm.
have been a threat. The Avengers fell apart. Like all of these movies in Phase 3, at least most of them, kind of. You don't need to see these movies in order to understand, but like I feel that kind of informs why Thanos is doing it now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like he's taking advantage of an opportunity.
Mm.
A lot of key threats like that have been taken out,
Yeah.
and that's it's kind of like in business when like your competitors are like having a crisis, you're like, well, now's the time to jump on the market. Now's the
Mm-hmm.
time to you say it with me, take over the universe.
Yeah.
Like,
Like you understand Thanos' motives and whatnot completely. You understand why he's doing it, but I think seeing it through the lens of every other major player in the galaxy is not a problem. His I think that makes his journey right now more interesting. So yeah, I want to put the Guardians movies there. I want to put Doctor Strange in there, but like they're not necessary to understanding the overarching plot of the entire series.
okay.
So, just to recap, it goes Avengers, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, Civil War, Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, Endgame.
So no Guardians at all, I guess.
In Infinity War, there that Guardians 2 is the only one that I'm a little iffy on because that was mentioned. Like there was a bit of a bonding moment between Thor and Star Lord where like my brother died, my mom died, my dad died. Well, my mom died. I had to kill my dad. Like we all have family issues. Like
Yeah.
that's a funny line, but like it also is important to these characters that they have family. Like their entire motivation is driven by their past struggles. So not seeing Star-Lord's past struggles would be a bit confusing or a bit of a letdown if you just didn't see that. But if you've already watched all the movies, like if this is your second watch through, you don't need that. You get it.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. Especially.
That happened in that movie. Or
yeah. I think so. Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, I kind of forgot you said it. Like, yeah, kind of like if you already know what's going on, then yeah, because it's like we don't. It's like you don't need to see the source material for every reference.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's like the 8 core movies that I think you need in order to understand the major timeline of the MCU. If it's your first time viewing all of them, I think this order makes the most sense. The Avengers, I still think you should start with just the Avengers. You should start with Iron Man and go from there, but like if you just I mean, realistically speaking, if you're gonna do an MCU binge, just binge them all. But like these are the important ones that I think
like cannot skip under any circumstance.
Yes, correct. Because honestly, the first phase outside of Avengers, kind of okay. Like Thor is fine, Iron Man is fine, Captain America is fine. Like Iron Man 2 is bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not a lot of, 8s or higher in that area, even 7s. I don't know. Like, so Avengers, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, maybe Ant-Man. That one's questionable. I have a question mark next to that one. Civil War. Then Black Panther. Then Spider-Man. Then Doctor Strange. Then after Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel without the after credit scene.
Can you do that?
Why not?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, you can.
Then Guardians 1 and 2.
Okay.
Then Thor Ragnarok. And then, because I just love how Thor Ragnarok ends, with Thanos' ship coming down, cut to black.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you could just do like a Thor Ragnarok into both those at the same time, that'd be fantastic. Whatever. Then Infinity War. Don't watch the after credit scene of that. Just Infinity War, cut to black, then Endgame, and then yeah, if you want to see Far From Home, go for it. Like, it's not one that's necessary. Still a good movie, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, good movie, but that's not huge. Especially I feel like it was kind of double used as less of a Spider-Man movie and more of just an aftermath movie.
Yeah, it's epilogue.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Which, I mean, it's still a cool Spider-Man movie.
I still like it.
Yeah. Especially Mysterio's character use. I think that was great. But yeah, I think it's more of an epilogue Marvel movie in general. Which I like kind of getting it from Spider-Man's perspective because he's like the hero closest to us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like how the regular people know, see what happened.
Yeah. I question if you even need to see the first Guardians movie.
Honestly, not really.
No?
Because
the first half of that movie is just the team learning to not want to kill each other and kind of coming together. Yeah. And it doesn't really start until they come together. And Thanos is in that, yes. But he doesn't do anything. Ronan is in that, but he's a bad villain. Like, you don't need to see Ronan in that movie.
Dance off, bro.
Well, I mean, I guess that scene is key to when that's mentioned in Infinity War. But
no, it's not.
The movie itself isn't super necessary. It is a fun movie with a good soundtrack, but the movie itself isn't super necessary. I think if you
the story points are
if you just watch Guardians 2, I think you get it.
Yeah, it fills you in as far as pretty much everything, probably.
Yeah, pretty much it. I think there's only, if you're just rewatching it all, I think there's only 8 that are core important movies, but if you're completely new, they're definitely something you can skip. You can skip Thor 2.
Yep.
Endgame will fill you in. Just watch the after credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp. You'll get it.
Honestly,
I don't even know if you need to watch Captain Marvel. You just kind of accept that she's here now. Whatever.
I mean, yeah. You didn't really learn it. All you just needed to know was Captain Marvel's OP. That's kind of just all you needed to know. You didn't really need to see the movie because you didn't really. I don't know. The explanation wasn't that great anyway. Especially, and the Nick Fury eye thing was kind of disappointing. So
it was. Absolutely was.
Yeah. So it's which I still thought it was gonna be one of the Skrulls. I still I thought it was gonna be the evil. I thought Coulson was gonna be a Skrull or something.
No.
And then or something, but no, it's a weird cat alien thing, whatever.
Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. But then you still kept the cat around. That's so.
Dumb.
No. So dumb.
And the way he said it, you knew he wasn't talking about a cat. And originally they had something else in mind. But and that reference is that was a 10-year not 10 years. It wasn't that long. It was a long it was almost an 8-year long.
2014, and then it was followed up in 2019. 5 years.
14? Is that
Winter Soldier?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, I guess that is 2014. I don't know why I was thinking 2012. Avengers, but yeah, no. So it's been a while. So they had an idea what they could have thought up, but I mean, it could have been worse, I guess. But I think it was supposed to. I guess it was trying to just go off the joke of, you thought it was a serious thing? Nope, alien cat thing.
Okay.
Sure.
Why not?
because Nick Fury's a silly guy.
He's not, but okay.
Nope. That's what I was like, no, never. But okay.
Maybe he was actually a Skrull in that movie.
Maybe it's not even his eye.
I am super looking forward to Space Shield. That seems awesome.
That does look so cool. I love how he's just casually just like you think he's on this beach? Nah, he's somewhere in space in this giant station. Just like, all right, let's get back to work. Just like,
what are you doing?
Are we not going to explain anything? I
assume it'll be explained in Eternals.
Yeah, probably, but still, I need to know now. No, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So are you satisfied with that? With like kind of take our lists combined? You think that's a decent?
I guess
pick the
so.
ones they can skip, the ones they need to watch, etc.
Yeah, I think so. See, now I'm looking at mine. I'm trying to see if I can condense it even more because I realize I still have most of the movies on here.
Yeah, you have like Ant-Man on there and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. Like some things are, I don't know. I guess because I remember some of these movies I didn't see before seeing like, because like I didn't see Ant-Man before I saw Civil War. I didn't see. I think I didn't see Guardian. No, I did. Yeah, I did. I think I saw Guardians out of order, actually. I actually don't remember. Okay. Wait, no, that's not true, because my friend showed me Guardians 1. But, no, it was, yeah, I remember, like, I saw, like, some of them, like, yeah, it was, there's no perfect way, but yeah, some ways, there's some movies you don't need to see. Like, Iron Man 2, I didn't see till, like, years after the first Avengers movie.
Like, I feel literally the exact opposite way about Iron Man 2 than I do Iron Man 3. Iron Man 2 is a bad movie, but some of it is actually important. Iron Man 3 is a good movie, yet none of it's important.
Yeah. Because, yeah, nothing in Iron Man, everything in Iron Man 3 that happens never matters
like
again.
That. Even though, like, I felt like his character at the end of Iron Man 3 was where his character should be. Like, if you ended his character there, it was perfect. But they just kind of kept going and then changed his character 3 other times, like, whatever.
I mean, it kind of worked out, you know? So, I don't know.
Like,
but
at some point they should see Iron Man 3. I just don't know if it's important during an MCU binge watch.
No. I think Iron Man 3 is one of those movies that's like, if you want Iron Man, there's more Iron Man, but it's not. It's like, it's kind of like the additional readings your professor wants. And it's like, if you want more on this topic, here's this, but I'm not going to require it because it's not essential to the learning. And then if you're me, you never read it.
Oh, never.
So, yeah, but I think pretty good. I don't know. I could take a few off, but honestly, I kind of like mine where it is. I know it's longer and lengthier, but I kind of like that because it's like, it tells a longer story, and I don't know, I live for like the little details and the references and the callbacks. Like that thing is like stuff like that just makes my whole like it makes the movies from a 9 to a 10. It's just like it's great because you feel like you're in their world.
If you didn't see Winter Soldier, then you wouldn't understand why Sam sit on your left in Endgame.
Yeah,
just little things like that are important.
That's what I'm saying, little stuff like that, and like you care so much more, and you're just like, oh, he brought it back, and like, it's just, I just love the references and like everything. It's just, it's too good. I can't not, but, I kind of wish Get Help was like a longer running joke though, because that was like the most underrated joke of like if they had made that a thing for like multiple movies, like that would have been amazing.
Like Thor just like picking someone up, like we're gonna do Get Help. Let's get help. Like,
oh my god!
Just like throw Ant-Man at him or something.
Throws Ant-Man. He becomes giant. Yeah. Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be fun.
And you're like, oh my god! Oh, that would be sick. But yeah, I think we both have our different, but both good lists.
So, is there anything else you want to bring up or discuss?
That's all I got from here.
Okay. So with that, we'll see you all next time.
Take care, guys.